Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100% You, a podcast which is all about discovering who you truly meant to be and becoming the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Bari, and I've been on the self-development journey for the past 14 years and spiritual journey for the past 10 to 12 years. In today's episode, we're going to talk about intuition. This episode is going to be super short and simple just to make sure that you step into 2026 the right way. So today's episode is going to touch mainly how to achieve your goals using your intuition and how to connect to your intuition better. So let's start with today's episode. So first of all, I want to talk about what is intuition because there's so many different terms that we can describe intuition. You have in psychology, neuroscience, spirituality, philosophy, and the everyday terms that we use in order to describe intuition. But eventually, all of the terms that we know that describe intuition basically describe the same inner intelligence that we have to connect to the higher consciousness, higher divine, however you want to call it. But it's some type of inner guidance, inner intelligence that connects you to this field of knowing everything, I would say, okay, in the most simple words. So we have different terms like gut feeling, you have inner voice, inner knowing, inner guidance, insight, maybe, those aha moments, but everything eventually describe the same thing, this inner intelligence that connects you to the higher divine, higher consciousness. Maybe you can say God, whatever you believe in and feel is comfortable for you. But eventually, you can connect to this intuition through different types of ways, through your body, through your emotions, through your thoughts. It can come in different forms and ways. It can come just when you do something random in your everyday life, but this kind of inner knowing. So I'll read you the definition just to make sure we cover it. Intuition is your inner knowing, the ability to understand or sense something immediately without needing conscious reasoning. You just know it's something that is true or you need to do it. So intuition is kind of this knowing. You just know something. It comes from nowhere. I talked about it in previous episodes. I'd love to say that intuition is like a falling star. It comes from nowhere. For a second, you just know something or see something or think about something. And intuition is really a big topic. But today, as I said, we're going to talk and touch only about the goal setting and get ready for 2026, because I can tell you from my personal life, every time I set goals and listen to my intuition led me to achieve the things that I wanted in the most crazy ways that I never thought could happen. So why does it matter to connect to your intuition? So as I said, let's say you set the goals, you have your vision board, you have everything, but maybe you're the type of person who needs to plan everything. You need to know the how. You need to know how everything is going to happen. And sometimes when you set big goals, it's hard for you to actually understand that it can happen. And it's sometimes hard for you to just trust and know it's going to happen. And you maybe you're the kind of person who needs to plan everything to the smallest details, which is fine and great. I done that too. However, sometimes when you really want to make change or you really want to make things happen even faster, or just in general, things that you don't even know how can happen. Like, I really believe that if you can dream about something, it's a possibility that you have in your life. It's a potential that you have that you can actually tap into. Sometimes it's hard for us to understand how we can tap into something that doesn't make any sense now to have in our reality. So here's when the intuition usually comes, at least for me. Let's say I set a goal, a big goal, and I have a few big goals. Wherever you put your focus on in your life, this is what you will attract inside your life, and it's gonna expand. So if you focus on the negative stuff that can happen and the stuff that you don't want to happen, and you just put all your focus there, so eventually you will go through this path of attracting negative things inside your life. However, if you're going to focus on the good stuff, you're going to focus on, and let's say you already uncovered all of your subconscious stuff that we talked about in the previous episodes, and you focus on the good stuff, on your goals, you focus on what you actually want and on your desires. So you expand this energy in your life and you start creating the path toward those goals. And here's where the intuition comes. While you're going through the path you chose, sometimes your intuition will be there to guide you and help you to make shortcuts or bring you to situations that you wanted. Let's say you want to meet some kind of investor. Actually, I have a cool story that I can tell you. When I came back from Switzerland in March after Joe Dispenza retreat, I really want to meet one of the biggest figures in the fashion industry in Israel. And I had no idea how can I meet this person. And I knew that I want to have his phone number and have the ability to schedule a meeting with him once I want to actually meet him and I have everything ready. And I just knew that this is what I want. I saw it in the meditation. I saw that I have his number. I saw that I talked to him. It just didn't make any sense to me on my everyday life. How can I reach this person? And I will say the name for all my Israelis listeners. So it was Harel Wiesel. And I just knew that I want to have his phone number and know how to connect to him. And when I came back from Switzerland, I remember I did like in the meditations, I want to somehow meet this person because I want to have a meeting with him. And it was 2 weeks after I came back from Switzerland, I just had a feeling. I went somewhere. I think I went to the mall or something. I don't remember exactly where, but I went somewhere and I remember that the bus that I needed to take missed the station. And instead of taking the bus that I needed to take, I took a different bus. And I remember at that second when the bus missed the station, I just had this inner feeling that this is for my best. I feel like I'm gonna meet someone. So I was like, okay, cool. And I thought to myself, should I maybe walk back home or should I take the different bus? And I just had the intuition of like, take the second bus that's gonna come. It was a different number. So instead of taking the bus that will take me exactly to my home, it was a bus that take me close to my home and then I have 10 minutes walk. So I took the second bus. And after I took the bus and arrived to the station where I needed, close to my house, I just had a feeling to walk from one street and not from the other. And I went from there. And suddenly I saw someone that he was my boss 5, 6, 7, no, even more, 8 years ago when I was in high school. So I saw him and we talked. And after like 2 minutes that we talked, I just felt I need to tell him about the business that I'm building. Why? I don't know. I just had this feeling of telling him about it. And so I told him about my business. And then he told me that he's well connected to all the figures from the fashion industry that I wanted to meet. One of them is Harel Wiesel and a few more. And 8 years ago when I worked at this person's place, I was very hardworking. So he knew that no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to do it the best way. And he immediately just suggested to connect between us two. So he was my connection person to this figure that I wanted. Plus, there was a cool story that after 2 weeks, I actually saw this person that I was looking to meet live on a physical lecture in my university. So I was able to talk to him and actually ask him for a meeting and he agreed. And of course, I had his phone number. So it was kind of cool story. But the first step to it, I listened to my intuition and found this person, which was very, very cool. And I have many different stories of how my intuition kind of led me. Maybe I went to the wrong street and then I discovered or saw someone that I really needed or wanted or whatever. So I would say that the intuition is just when you know you have focus on something specific in order to get the information, because eventually I just want you to imagine it and think about it. If we're looking at the higher consciousness, the divine, the universe, whatever, there's no time. Eventually, all the potentials, all the realities working at the same time. So in the 3D is where we are now. We have the time, we have all this limits and all this stuff. But if we connect to the higher consciousness, you can connect beyond time and logic. And if you want to actually achieve your goals, and sometimes the timing doesn't make any sense and where you at in your life just doesn't make sense, if you will know how to connect to this higher consciousness, to the divine, it will be easier for you to achieve your goals and achieve your things. Because think about it, if you can dream about something, you can see it, you can visualize it, this is a potential that exists for you in this lifetime. You must believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it will not exist for you. But if you believe that any potential that you can see and imagine exists for you, this is something that can happen and potential that you can tap into. And how can you tap into this potential? By connecting to the higher divine, to the universe, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, to the higher consciousness. In order to do this, connection. You can do it by many ways, different forms and ways. You can do it through meditation. You can do it for ceremonies and different kind of stuff. But eventually, the message from this higher consciousness divine will get to you through your intuition, this inner knowing. I love how there's a few people I listen to and they say it's a technology. I really love this term because eventually, yeah, it is a technology that we as human beings have in our body to feel, to sense, to know something that doesn't make any sense. So remember, where you put your focus on, this is what will expand. If you ask specific question and you put your focus on this thing, let's say you have a goal, I want to open a business. If you put your entire focus on what type of business I can create in order to make people's life better and that I will enjoy making this business or company, when you put your focus on this, you can write down and think about ideas, but eventually there's something higher than you, this divine higher consciousness that once you connect to it and put your entire focus there and you just listen and you're open to receive the answers, you can get the answers through your intuition, through your gut feeling, through this inner knowing. So if you want to achieve your goals and you don't even know maybe how would you get to the goals that you want, because maybe it's not something you can say, okay, I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I get it. There's something that is not under your control. We talked about also the previous episode. I told you to write things that are under your control, and there's stuff that not under your control. Maybe you can do, let's say you want to open a business, so you open a website, you create the first product, you create the go-to-market strategy. Maybe you created all the stuff, but eventually, in order that it will work, it's not under your control. Like you can do whatever you want, but in order that the business will succeed, maybe you will launch it and there's going to be a war in your country. Maybe you're going to launch the new product and you did all the right stuff that were under your control, but there's going to be another COVID. You don't know what's going to happen. So you did all the things that were under your control, and the things that not under your control, it's basically that if you're going to know how to connect your intuition to this inner voice, right, it will be easier for you to achieve those goals. And again, you need to remember, whatever you focus on, this is what you will get in your life. So if you focus on the bad stuff, on the negative stuff, your intuition and inner voice can also guide you to the bad stuff that you're focusing on. Let's say I focus on the bad stuff and my intuition told me to go there, and apparently because I went there, something bad happened to me. So that can happen too. So remember that whatever you focus on, the things that not under your control, if you keep focusing on the good stuff and what you want, the higher consciousness can give you the answers and direction to keep going, or can lead you to the things that will help you achieve what you want. And how can we connect to our intuition? So I really hope that most of the people who listen here know how to connect to your intuition, and it's something that maybe is already part of you. But if you're not, I would recommend you to just start from the smallest stuff. I would say that the easiest part, I think, to do it is by asking questions. There's something on your mind right now, an answer that you want to receive, just ask the question, put your entire focus on that question. Also, you need to let go. You can't just be obsessed with the question and getting the answers. You need to put focus on something that you want to receive. Let's say there's 2 places I invited to go tonight and I don't know where should I go. So I put the focus on the question, where should I go? And I would say I want to have the most fun tonight. And I'll just let go and say, okay, I want my intuition, my inner voice to guide me to go to the best place that would suit my desire. Once you let go, at some point you will see you just have this inner knowing, and maybe at the beginning it will be hard, but once you practice it more and more, it will be easier for you to have and know this kind of feeling. And remember, intuition, to connect to your intuition, it's a muscle that you can work on. So try to follow your intuition as many times as you can on the small stuff in order to make it easier to follow it on the big stuff. Don't overcomplicate it. And I'll give you another small example. Let's say you have a date tonight, or someone hit up on you, or you met a new person, and you just had a feeling that this is not for you. You just had a feeling that this person, you just get sense of, I don't want to maybe go on a date with him, or maybe I don't want to do business with this type of person. You just had a feeling about some person, and then maybe you went on a date, you made a deal with this person, and you saw later on that it was a mistake. And I feel like many of us has this type of things. I remember I had a partner in one of the business that I tried to build a few years ago, and I just had a feeling that it will be a waste of my time to do partnership with this person. I ended up doing this, and after 2 months we ended the partnership. So I knew it before, but I couldn't let my intuition to actually guide me and follow it, because I was stuck in my ego that, no, I have a great opportunity here, I want to take it and let's do it. So once you just let yourself follow the intuition on the smaller stuff, it will be easier to follow it on the bigger stuff. And also, intuition can be different for many people. There are some people who can feel it in their gut, literally feel it in their body. There's type of people who are more the thinking type, so it will be some kind of just random thought that comes to their mind. Maybe you're the type of person who just feels energy. Maybe you're in a room full of people, or suddenly you just feel kind of, I don't know, emotions in your body, bad or good emotions. Try to learn and experiment and see how intuition looks at your life. But start from the small stuff. Start from the, what should I eat for dinner? What should I go left or right? I gave another example in one of the first episodes. If you really want to test it, I would say, if you're in a new city, know what's your destination. And let's say you have 30 minutes walk, okay? You can look at the map once and then just close your Google Maps or whatever you look checking, and just let your intuition, your inner voice, to guide you on how to get to the destination. You have the focus, I want to get to this place, and also tell yourself in how much time you want to get there. Let's say you want to get to this destination in 20 minutes, 22 minutes. So tell yourself, I need to go to this destination in 22 minutes. Please guide me. Literally like this. Maybe at the beginning it will be harder to do it, but I promise you, eventually, once you know how to connect to your intuition and you'll try it and practice it, if you're gonna trust it, also for the first time you're gonna see results, you'll just get to the destination without looking at the map, even if it's a completely new city and you don't know the way. I do it all the time when I'm traveling, and this is one of the best practices for me, at least, to strengthen my intuition, and I love it so much. So start with the small stuff in order to be able to receive and be open to receive the bigger guidance for your big goals for the year. So I want to summarize it, because as I said, it was a super short video. So intuition has different terms that we can use. The whole point of intuition is just this inner intelligent guidance that connects you to the higher consciousness, the higher divine, whatever you want to call it. And intuition is the technology, I would say, of how know those kind of stuff. The thing that you should do is know what you're focusing on, because if you focus on the things that you actually want, your intuition can help you lead to those kind of stuff. Another thing is, as we said, in order to get your goal, achieve your goals, there are the things that are under your control. But eventually, there's many things that not under your control. You just need to set the goal, know what you actually want, believe that it will happen for you, and just be open to listen and to feel what is the right way to go. Because maybe you did all the right stuff, but at the last second, you just had a feeling that maybe you need to postpone it in 2 days. And the next day you woke up and you saw that there was something crazy going on in the world. And you were lucky enough to listen to your intuition, because if you would lunch at this morning, maybe you would waste a bunch of money on the marketing campaign, because no one would see it, because the algorithm is covering the things that went crazy in the world. So listening to intuition can help you achieve your goals, even in the things that not under your control. And as I said, it's a muscle. You can practice it. You can try from the small stuff. You can also connect better to intuition when you do meditations, when you visualize stuff, maybe when you work out. Find your thing that helps you to be in this quiet place and receive those messages from your intuition. This is all for today. I hope you liked this episode. Let me know if you like this shorter type of video, because I felt like I wanted to talk much more about things, but also keep it very simple. If you would like me to make another episode of intuition and go a little bit deeper, let me know. And thank you so much. We've been on 100% You for more than a month now, which is crazy. And we reached more than 15 countries, which is insane. So thank you for everyone who listened. And I hope your week is going to be incredible. See you next time. Bye.